Sophia stepped through the front door that evening, her expression relaxed, wearing a soft smile like everything was perfectly normal, as if spending the night with another man was part of her routine. But I didn't return that smile. I stood still, meeting her with a calm but icy stare. My tone was flat, my message final. You've got 10 minutes to sign the divorce papers and get out of my house. What she didn't see coming was that we wouldn't be alone. Adrian's wife, Amal, was already there, and her presence would turn this night into one Sophia would remember forever. When I first met Sophia, I thought I'd found someone truly special. She was intelligent, driven, charismatic, the kind of woman who seemed to shine in every room she entered. We hit it off fast. I was managing a high-end hospitality brand, and she was thriving as a financial consultant. Our jobs kept us busy, but we always made time for each other, or so I thought. The change came slowly, quietly. Sophia had once made our evening dinners a priority. Then, more and more, she'd say she had to work late. I chalked it up to her career demands and told myself not to jump to conclusions. I didn't want to be paranoid. I trusted her. Then, one night while we were watching TV, her phone buzzed. She quickly silenced it, laughed nervously, and turned it over so the screen faced down. "Who was that?" I asked, trying to sound casual. She looked at me and replied, "Just a client. He's a bit too clingy lately." It sounded convincing enough, but the tension in her posture and the white-knuckle grip on her phone said something else. From that moment, suspicion began creeping in, and it didn't leave. Over the following weeks, the red flags multiplied. Her late nights became too predictable. Missed calls, hushed conversations, and texts she always claimed were work-related. Deep down, I already knew. But I needed to be sure. One evening, while she was supposedly out meeting another client, I sat down at her laptop. She'd forgotten to log out of her email. What I found made me sick to my stomach. The emails were explicit and emotional, far beyond innocent. They described private dinners at upscale restaurants and romantic nights in boutique hotels. The man's name was Adrian. I knew him. We'd met at one of her business events. I remembered thinking something felt off, the way they stood too close, the way they laughed too hard. It all made sense now. But I didn't confront her right away. Texts and emails weren't enough. I needed concrete proof. So I hired a private investigator. A few weeks later, I had everything: photos, videos, receipts, time-stamped and irrefutable. Her betrayal was undeniable. But what stung even more was realizing Adrian's wife, Amal, was in the dark. I mailed her an anonymous package filled with the evidence. Inside was a simple note. "You deserve to know. If you want to talk, call me." She didn't wait long. Amal reached out soon after. She was heartbroken, but composed. We met at a quiet cafe, laid everything on the table. The deception. The embarrassment. The hurt. Her voice trembled, but her resolve was sharp. "I'm going to confront him," she said. "But I want it to hurt." Her fire lit something in me. "Then let's do it together," I said. "Let's make sure they never forget what they did." She gave me a steady nod and a faint, approving smile. "I like your approach." For weeks, we planned everything, going over every detail. Sophia told me she'd be working late on a Saturday. I already knew she'd be with Adrian. Amal and I made a reservation at the same restaurant, before them. We picked a corner table with a clear view and waited. They walked in, hand in hand, their laughter echoing carelessly. I kept my emotions in check. Timing was everything. Just as their entrees were served, we stood and walked to their table. The second they noticed us, all the color drained from their faces. The room went silent. "Sophia," I said calmly. "You forgot to mention dinner plans with Adrian tonight." "And you," Amal added coldly, turning to her husband, "seem to have had quite a busy evening." Sophia's face flushed crimson. Jacob, please. I can explain. You'll have time, I said, cutting her off. I set a folder down in front of her. These are divorce papers. You have 10 minutes to sign them. Then, you're out of my house. Her mouth fell open. Divorce, she gasped, like she didn't recognize the word. You're overreacting. No, Sophia. What's outrageous is how you threw away our marriage like it meant nothing. What's insane is thinking I wouldn't find out. Adrian tried to stand, but Amal placed her hand firmly on his arm. Don't move. We're not done yet. She pulled out her own folder and slid it across the table to him. This'll be on your company's desk by Monday. Let's see how they feel about their CFO using company funds to spoil his mistress. Adrian went pale. You wouldn't. I already did, she replied without blinking. That night, Sophia left with nothing but her purse. By morning, I had the locks changed. Her belongings were boxed up and sent to her parents' house. She tried to reconnect, called, texted, even showed up at my job, but I never acknowledged her. The divorce was finalized quickly, and she walked away with far less than she had expected. Adrian's fall was even steeper. Amal made good on her threat. He lost his job, and the news of the affair spread like wildfire. She filed for divorce soon after. Last I heard, he was living alone in a dingy apartment, miles away from the lavish lifestyle he'd once bragged about. Amal and I stayed in touch. At first, it was just to support each other, to vent, to rebuild. But over time, something stronger grew. A connection rooted in honesty, respect, and healing. Betrayal cuts deep, but sometimes, it clears the path for something better. Justice isn't always about revenge. Sometimes it's simply choosing to stand tall in the wreckage, knowing you walked away with your dignity intact.